I'm going to show you how you can change your wrestling forever for the better. In this video, I'm going to give you the formula to reach the highest levels in the sport and change the way you think about wrestling completely. Stick around to the end of the video because the last tip is the best tip. I'm Weston Wickman. I wrestled my entire life. I now coach at AWA in Wisconsin Rapids. I went from not placing as a junior in high school to being a 3-year Division I starter in college. I did this by changing the way I think about wrestling, and the biggest thing I did was commit to the sport. My junior year of high school, I wrestled all season and I didn't place at the state tournament. That summer, I changed the way I thought about wrestling and I committed to the sport. I got super serious about it, started treating the sport differently. I had already stopped all other sports, so if you haven't done that, you should probably do it. And I just focused on wrestling. But I wasn't just showing up to practice anymore. Now I was thinking about the sport differently. There's a couple steps you need to do this. One, like I said, stop other sports. If you really want to take wrestling seriously and you want to reach the highest level at it, you got to focus on just wrestling. Number 2, start studying the sport. Just because you don't have practice that day does not mean you can't get better. I would watch matches every single day. Practice or no practice, I was watching a wrestling match. I picked guys that I wanted to wrestle like, and I just watched every single match there is. Today there's so many resources. You have Flow Wrestling, you have YouTube, and I'm sure there's other platforms that you can find matches on. Another tip, find a good mentor or coach, whatever you want to call them. I was lucky enough, I was in Wisconsin. Ben Askren and Max Askren obviously have Askren Wrestling Academy in Wisconsin. I started going there and I just started picking his brain. Every single day I would try to ask questions. I would stay after practice, work on things, ask more questions. I even started coming early, which was a trait that I did not do very often. A mentor is not only going to help guide you, or a good coach is not only going to help guide you with technique, but he's also going to help train you mindset-wise, tell you how to reach the highest level. He already knows how to get there. Just follow what he says. That being said, we should also want to know the why behind things. Just because coach says something doesn't mean it's necessarily right or wrong, but you should want to know a why behind it. If you're running 12 miles a day for wrestling, you should probably ask your coach, hey, why am I doing this? And then see the reason he gives you and ask yourself, is that a good enough reason to be running 12 miles a day? I don't think running 12 miles a day for wrestling is going to have any good reasons behind it, so he's probably wrong about it. But if he shows this technique and you're like, hey, why am I learning this technique? And then he gives you a really good answer like, hey, it's working at the highest level at the World Championships. It's probably a pretty good reason for you to practice it. Good mentor in the sport to teach you not only technique, but also talk to you about the mental stuff, how to approach matches, what to eat, what not to eat. Should you cut weight? Should you not cut weight? Where should you go to college? Where should you not go to college? Stuff like that is a really, really good reason to have a mentor. So find a local club near you with a really good coach, or find one of these clubs. If you got to go an hour and a half to 2 hours, you got to do that. Okay, I just watched a video on Levi Haynes, national champion at Penn State. He was driving 2.5 hours one way to go train with David Taylor at the M2 Training Center. If that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do. There's multiple times I was driving over an hour for practices or events or camps that I wanted to go to just because I knew the best coaches were going to be there and I needed to pick their brain to get information. Focus on getting better, not winning. When you commit yourself to wrestling, you are committing yourself for the long haul. Okay, you're not committing yourself to 1 year, to 2 years, to 3 years, right? You're committing yourself all the way until you're done with college wrestling. So commit yourself and focus on getting better every day. Don't focus on winning that day, because winning one day in practice does nothing for you in the long run. Okay? You have to get better every single day and get better and get better and get better. And those stack on top of each other and the winning will take care of itself. Work smarter, not harder. That doesn't mean don't work hard in practice. You should be working hard in practice, right? Sweat, whatever. But not every single practice has to be a meat grinder. There's some practices where I remember at AWA where we didn't even do live. We would just do technique. It was just technique focused practices. And that is how you continue in the sport and get better and better and better. If you're going live all throughout the summer, there's no reason to stay in shape throughout the summer. In high school, there is Fargo, but you can get in shape if you're wrestling every single day. You can get in competition shape in like a month. So you don't need to be grinding and going live every single day of the week all the time. You can focus on technique, focus on the little things, focus on the stuff you need to get better at, and you can take an hour and a half to 2 hours and then do no live, and that's completely fine. It's going to help your injuries if you are injured. It's going to make your body feel better, and you're going to be excited to come into practice because you don't have this hour and a half, 2 hour meat grinder practice where I just get exhausted the whole time. Practice can be fun. Practice can be, light, and you're just rolling around figuring stuff out. That doesn't mean there's not times to go hard, because wrestling is a hard sport, so you do need to mentally prepare for that, but I don't think it needs to be 100% of the time. And the last tip, and what I think is most important, have fun with the sport. If you're not having fun, there's not much reason to do it, right? If it's not something you enjoy, why are you doing it? You're not gonna be fulfilled from it, right? So find fun in the sport. I actually watched an interview with Mitchell Messenbrink. He was talking about moves that he likes to hit and like why he hits certain moves, and he just finds them fun. He said when he was a little kid, he liked blast doubling guys, and then he just freaking hit doubles. Now he's kind of worked away from that because he finds other moves fun. If you felt like you got good information from this video, please hit the like button. It really helps. And hit that sub button. Thank you for watching.